Guess who's back?
I know, it's been a while. It's been like a month. We haven't done a video, so I thought, it's after the holidays. Why don't we do a traditional dish, a nice lasagna recipe? How's that sound?
Excellent.
Yeah, now, unfortunately, this one, it's not one of those quick or simple ones. There's quite a bit to it, but in the end, it's always worth making it, homemade from scratch. So let me run through the ingredients. I put 3 different types of meat in here. The regular ground beef, ground pork, and ground veal. Usually about 1 pound of each. Now, sometimes a supermarket sells that meatloaf mix and combines all 3 for you, so you could do that too.
Okay, I've seen that. I haven't ever picked up 3. It seems excessive. It's a little over the top, but having eaten it, I know it's good.
That's right. But I mix it myself. We have the lasagna noodles, of course. Traditional lasagna noodles. Now I got this one, I'm not going to use, I just wanted to show you, oven-ready lasagna. What you could do is you could take this, you don't have to boil it. You just put it right in the pan. I'm kind of old school. I like going this way because I don't mind boiling it. And when you do this, you don't cook it all the way. You just want to like parboil it so it's not all the way cooked through, and then you use it. I've heard of some people actually using these noodles just like this without even
boiling them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now I've never done that. But again, I'm old school. I like this. The only thing I'd like to mention, though, is if you go this route, these were more than double the price of those. So I don't mind boiling them.
You're lazy and you got money to burn. Go that route.
All right, 2 cans of crushed tomatoes. Then we have some fresh Italian parsley, basil, 1 onion, 4 larger cloves of garlic, sugar, salt, pepper, oregano, some olive oil. Now before I go on to that, I wanted to mention these ingredients here are for the sauce.
Okay.
And I'm going to do that first. So if you have like your own sauce, or you want to use jar sauce, which is just fine, you want to use your favorite sauce for this. And you can save some time if you use the jar. I like making our own sauce from scratch because it's pretty easy. So this will be for the sauce portion of it. And then the last step is going to be the cheese. We use the ricotta cheese, the mozzarella, provolone, 2 eggs, and some Parmesan cheese. And I'm going to put a little milk in with the ricotta and the eggs. And the last thing is the lasagna pan. This is a lasagna pan. It's like 15.5 by 11.5, so it's a little larger and a little taller. The other baking dishes, I think they're only 2 inches, where this gives you an extra 1/2 inch above, so you could stack it, 2 to 3 layers high. And that's all you're going to need for the lasagna. So let's get started. Take all 3 meats and put them in a big bowl. And we'll take a little table salt. And a little pepper. Mix this up nice. Then we're going to fry it in the fry pan. We'll save all the juices in there, and then we'll cook the sauce in there. But with the potato masher, just gently, you don't want to scrape the pan, just gently break this up. So we don't want to break it up too much. I'd like to leave it in kind of like chunky pieces. The meat's cooking. We want to cook the noodles now ahead of time, so when we go to put everything together, they're done. So I have a pot of cold water, put some salt in there, turn it on high, cover it, and let it reach a boil. Okay, the meat looks just about done. Now the pan you don't have to clean, leave all that in there because we're going to make the sauce in this. And we diced this, but the garlic we want to mince. So let me get rid of that. And the mincing, it's a lot finer. See how small we're going with this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have the onion cut, the garlic's minced, and the next thing we're going to do is chop up the Italian parsley. I'm only going to use about half of it for the sauce. The other half I'm going to use to mix with the ricotta cheese. The basil, I'm going to cut that up too, but one of the things I like to do when I'm cooking is sort of like conserve time to cut down on the amount of preparation and cooking time involved. So I could cut all 4 of these at once. But what I'm going to do instead is actually start cooking these, and then while it's cooking, I could go ahead and cut those. So you see, I would save some time there if you could do a few things at once.
Mm-hmm.
We have the onion and garlic. And the most important part of this step here is you don't want to burn the garlic. Burning the garlic is bad. And we take the bunch of basil and we just chop it up. I'm going to put this in the sauce. And the parsley. Okay, now you see how there's some sauce left in there? What I'm going to do is go to the sink, get some water, swish it around, and that'll extend the sauce. Now it depends on the type of crushed tomatoes you're using. If I've seen some of the crushed tomatoes that aren't that thick in consistency, and if they're not that thick and then you do this with the water, you may have to put a little paste in to thicken it up. Mm-hmm. So just be mindful of that. You'll know when you open the can of crushed tomatoes, if you're making it homemade, if it's really thin or on the thicker side. This right here is a really good consistency, so I'm not going to have to add any paste. Now I'm going to mix that around. I'm going to put in our 2 tablespoons of sugar.
That's a key ingredient.
It is.
That's why your sauce tastes so good. Well, one of the reasons it tastes so good.
Some salt and pepper. Basil, and we'll put in about half the parsley. Now we just want to simmer this. We're going to simmer it low until everything else is done, and hopefully at that time everything will be ready to go to put it all together. Okay, here's the meat that we just cooked. I leave this separate, and then I put this in the lasagna as is. But I usually like taking a ladle and put it in the sauce for some flavor. I don't like putting it all in because I don't want it really like a meat sauce. Mm-hmm. When this goes in the lasagna, I like it to have more sauce than the meat. That 1 ladle of meat I put in here, and you see you could hardly see it in here. If I put all that meat in here, it'd be like one big
Sloppy Joe.
Exactly, I was just gonna say, Sloppy Joe. Because when we start making the lasagna, the very bottom layer is sauce. Almost everyone does that. That's universal. And I don't like having a layer of meat on the bottom, you know. That's why I like having the sauce just like this. But I put a little meat in just to give it some of the meat flavor in the sauce. Okay, we take the ricotta cheese. I have the whole milk. You could get the part skim also. I like using the whole milk. Put the parsley in. And 2 egg yolks. And last ingredient, 1 tablespoon of sugar. We'll add our milk, about 1/4 cup. Okay, the water is at a hard boil, so we'll take both of our things. Now, I don't think we're going to need all of this. It's overkill. I just like making a little extra. You could probably get away with just 1. Okay, Okay, turn down the heat to a gentle boil and very carefully and gently move these around because you don't want them to stick, but you don't want them to break either. And like I said, we're not going to cook them too long. They're going to be probably less than al dente. Let all that water off. I put the pot back here. Put them back in and put cold water. Cool them off, they're so hot. Okay, now these are manageable. I could touch them. Before they were just so hot you'd burn yourself. So let's do this. Draining once again in the colander. Transfer them to a large bowl. We take our trusty olive oil.
That we never use.
That we never use. Generously poured on top. Now we're going to go ahead and mix them. Because remember, the sauce is still cooking. And it's going to be here for a little bit, and I don't want them to stick. That's why we cooled them off. We coat them with a nice thin coating of olive oil. And when we put it together, we'll be ready to go. The opportunity to put the oven on 325 will preheat it. That preheats in 15 minutes. We'll go ahead and start putting it together. Final step, putting it all together. 2 layers, and that's it. So this is the easy part. Okay, we have our pan. Now our noodles. Now our noodles are real easy to handle because they're not hot. Remember, we cooled them. Now we're going to take half the meat because there's going to be 2 layers. And we're going to take half the ricotta. And just try and put this on evenly throughout. The mozzarella, we're going to take about 1/3 of that and put it on. Sprinkle on our grated cheese. Not too many people do this. I like putting on a layer of provolone. This way. I went that way the first time. I'm going to go this way this time.
Oh, okay.
The final step, I like putting a little parsley on, the dried parsley, just for, you know, appearance. It makes it look really nice. I want to wrap it very loosely. We don't want the cheese to stick to it. Oven's at 325. We'll put that in. And we're going to cook it at 325 for about 40 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, 45 minutes. Let's pull this out. I can hear it sizzling.
Ooh, little drip.
So we'll cook it another 15 minutes with that uncovered. Ready for it? Mm-hmm. The princess's lasagna. Mm-hmm. Okay, what we're going to do is let it cool here for about 10 minutes, then we'll cut it. Put it on a plate, and then we'll serve it. So I cut it once down the middle. And these will be nice sized pieces.